Yes.
I have to say it every time. It's the end of the video. End of the video. So I had a weird idea a couple weeks back that I guess I thought was weird. But we want to do hatches in the bus where the hatches exist, but we want them to be skylights too. And to replace them with like marine hatches is really expensive and we're cheap, so we didn't want to do that. And we couldn't really find the size that we wanted. So anyway, I had the idea of taking our existing hatches and cutting out kind of like along this edge here and then putting like acrylic or whatever. Turns out Lexan, apparently Lexan is the way to go according to some Skoolie boards I'm a part of. I can't give a solid review because I haven't done it. You haven't used it yet, so we'll see. But that's what we're going to use. So we're going to cut this out and create a skylight hatch. What made me go from thinking it was an insane idea to a reasonable idea was I saw Skooliana on his Instagram. He did it. And he did it because he saw someone else do it. So if there's at least 2 other humans in the world that have done it, it can't be that bad of an idea. So, and I couldn't go back on his page and find it because I was going to link it in the description. But anyway, point is, we are going to make some skylight hatches out of our existing hatches. So far, if everything we have works, the total to do this will be like, for the 2 pieces of Lexan to do both hatches is like $45. For the plastic cutting tool was $5. For the butyl tape, we already have the butyl tape, but a huge 50 linear feet, right, roll is $5. And then like roofing screws, so it's like $5 for an entire like jug of them. So really, you do the math because I don't want to do that right now because I don't remember all the numbers I said. But I'll put the details below and at the end like we always do. But yeah, I'm hopeful that this will turn out well. I think worst case scenario, we might have to add an extra layer of like sealant or something on the inside. But anyway, you'll see kind of what we're thinking, and yeah, hopefully it works. Okay, so as usual, things did not turn out exactly how we thought they would. So notice the square is much larger. Look at that amazing shirt, first of all. Check that out. Look at this model, too. Anyway, this square, are you done? This square is obviously much larger than we intended. I can explain better on the next one when I show you, but there were little like lifts. It's right there. The cutout hatch is right there. Okay, so initially we were just gonna cut, well, that's not what I'm talking about. Just hold it up. Yes. Initially we were just gonna cut the outside ridges, but flip it, like Vanna White here. See how it's lifted on the sides? When we did that, this lifted part would have been, it's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it. The short version is we had to cut a bigger square for the Lexan to lay flat. So it's fine. Everything is still structurally good. We're not going to spray paint it at this point because the amount of white that's left on there is so minimal. So it's fine. It's clean enough. So we're going to cut the Lexan to size. We're going to put that in. We're going to put butyl tape on one side of it. Doing so good. And then we're going to screw it down in kind of like most skylight hatch things would be on RVs. And then we're going to do gaps and cracks on the inside and then trim that. We think that'll work. We'll see.
Gaps and cracks for this crack and gap.
All right, so I just shoved a whole bunch of sunflower seeds in my mouth right before I decided to record this because I'm smart like that. Cookie Monster. So another thing that changed, was the size of Lexan we needed. So I was optimistic and thought that the 18 by 24 piece would be enough. It wasn't. So we had to go and get, what size is this? 36 by 48, because the measurement, even if we had been able to cut it how we thought, was more than 18 inches on both sides. So anyway, So we got two 36 by 48s that will more than cover these holes. And the good thing about the bigger sizes is that they're UV resistant. So they're $86 a pop. So that obviously increased the cost of, oh my gosh, this guy.
Apparently this one's mine.
Party foul.
Apparently this one's mine.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, so that increased the cost by, I don't know, over $100. And, but we're not using the spray paint, so we saved $4. Yeah, it's ending up more expensive, but still cheaper than buying marine hatch. Still cheaper than building hatches from scratch, especially with the cost of wood now, so. So here's, we'll see if this works, but this was a whole whopping $5 at Home Depot. And you use it kind of to score the plastic. So you do like 6 to 8 drag throughs, I guess, with light pressure at the right angle, and then it should just snap off. But we'll see if that claim is true. But it says use on Lexan sheet. Focus, there we go.
Make the notch for this handle.
Then we don't even need to, I mean, it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
we could like zip.
I'll just go zip, zip, zip
on
all
all
four
the corners.
Yep.
Okay. Might as well.
Might as well. We have it here. It'll be
quick zippity doo dah, zippity day.
It'll be a quick zip. Now let's try it. It should fit like a glove. Like a glove, folks. Other side.
I know what I'm doing, I swear.
Perfect, yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay.
So now that we have that secured with butyl tape, we're gonna screw it in with these 1-inch roofing screws, and then we're using an itty bitty drill bit. I don't know the exact specs on it, but
let's measure out 2 inches on each of these. Let's measure out 2 inches on each of these.
Each one is 2 inches apart.
Yep.
Does the precision matter for some reason?
I just want to make sure it's going to create a super tight seal.
So on this, we are not using the impact drill because we don't want to shatter the plastic. Not even the Lexan necessarily, but the plastic on the hatch. So.
Keep going. Keep going.
Here we go.
Regular drill has torque settings, and it ended up being 16 for us to go through the Lexan and through the plastic on the bottom.
Yeah. And again, didn't use the impact drill just because we thought that would be too intense too quickly and it would split it. So that's why.
That's what I was gonna say. My only thought would be gaps and cracks to fill it because it would make it a little rigid, but
Why?
then you have potential of it smearing on the glass.
Yeah.
So
like, why?
if we would have done gaps and cracks, it should have been smarter to do beforehand. Let it dry, then shave it off.
Yeah, but as far as like insulation and stuff, it's not. I mean, how necessary is it really?
Yeah. All right. Let's.
This is our beautiful skylight that is absolutely, if you look at it from this angle, it's, no matter what, it's beautiful because the ceiling will go up and it'll cover all this. But the only downside is because there's that lip, you can see the screws. But it's still pretty fantastic. So if anybody has any suggestions on how we were going to do gaps and cracks just to help with like insulation, but then you have like weird, ugly gaps and cracks, which I guess you can paint and spray, but like, thoughts, ideas? Thing we would love ideas on. So this latch on one of our hatches is broken. If you have a latch like this on a hatch in a bus or know how to get one, let me know because they are discontinued and they suggest us buying a whole new hatch. So we'll figure something out, but any ideas, it usually has an extension right here that locks into that. So yeah, anyway, any ideas, help us out. The skylight, it was nighttime and we couldn't show you the beautifulness that it is now, but it's super bright. Like, look, it's so bright. Look at that beauty. Yes, please. So here's our remaining issues. We want to cover up this gap somehow, but it's watertight, nothing's come through, so that's good. But this is obviously not super cute. So we're gonna find a way to cover that up. Some ideas on how we're gonna handle it, but if you have any brilliant ideas, please share them below.
So we didn't really film this that well the first time, but removing this hatch to cut the skylight, it's very simple. Everyone's gonna be different. Every bus is gonna be different, but we just have these two bolts, 7/16. So one will come down, one will go up to loosen it. It'll be opposite on each side because how the bolts are in there. But you'll take that out and then we'll show you where we cut and why.
So here's what's on the sides. It's a, I don't even know what this is called. Rounded nut, and then a washer, and then a, what is this, plastic washer? But that's just what's on either side. And then they're just held in like that. You just pop them out, yank it down. Oh, do you have to undo the top ones too?
No.
No, you just take the whole thing.
So when we originally planned cutting, we planned on just cutting around this side, right here at the edge. However, when you flipped it to the other side, the edge of that came right through here. So we had to actually extend it out to the edge here and out to the edge here. It made this a little bit bigger. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope it was educational and informative.
If it was, give it a thumbs up.
And what else is supposed to do? Subscribe, I think.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe if you
Thanks
haven't.
for watching, guys. See you next time. don't freeze.
Who got? Alice, did you get yellow? I got yellow.
Ooh, that's a good superhero pose, girl. Hold on, I got it on